Hello, good morning. This is me, your old pal Arnold, telling you about a new person on YouTube named Orpheus. Boy, that was terrible. I'm sorry. I apologize. Normally, my Arnold Schwarzenegger's a little bit better than that. Hi, everybody. It's me, Orpheus. Here on Orpheus Plays, we're here in the ancient ruins of Blade and Sorcery, and we're playing another round of survival. Yes, where 3 weapons are presented to me, and I choose one to destroy all these poor NPCs with. And while we make that selection, we've got our old antique sword. Boy, that's nice. Here's your antique piece of crap. And 2 trench maces. So, you know, they're supposed to be random, but whatever. We also have our lovely chair over here, and we're going to beat some butts with that as well, and do a little bit of kung fu with it, you know, a little bit of Jeet Kune Do, you know. Whoa. But hope you're doing well, wherever you are right now, and I mean that. Wherever you are right now, I hope you're having a good day. If you're not, well, stay tuned. We'll do a little bit of fun here, and I'll tell you a little bit about, well, we'll get to that in a second. This one's kind of fun. So we'll start off with the trench maze. We'll see if we can't get some of these people's insurance that includes dental to get a little bit of a workout. So, yeah, what should today's story be? Well, a lot of you guys have mentioned, and I hear this over the years, like, why aren't you in the voiceover industry, right? I mean, I've been in radio, okay? Hold on. Slow motion kill in the barrels! Oh, wow. Okay. Didn't know that would work so well. I was hoping that your balls would take a little bit more punishment, bro. Oh, well. Ooh, come here. So, today's story is all about that. People keep saying, why don't you go into the voiceover industry? And I've done commercials, you know. I did commercials for stuff like DirecTV and some IMAX movies and stuff, so you might have heard my voice and not even knew it. I've also done some you know, radio work for the Associated Press, and again, you record things sometimes and send it so it gets distributed nationally. And so, again, you might have just kind of heard my voice somewhere along the way. Maybe that's what makes it so I'm so familiar to some people, or at least comforting. Oh, except for that guy who just took an axe to the face. So, like, why aren't you in the voiceover industry? I do all these voices, like, you know, Arnold. And I do the old man, right? And the paranoid New Yorker. Oh, Jesus, I'm gonna get tetanus from this blade. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. So, wow. Land on your corpse. So I do all that stuff. But the voiceover industry is very, very weird. And let me tell you a story about the first time and the last time that I forayed into the voiceover industry. So I got a chance to go out to Hollywood. So I guess you could say, this is a story all about how your friend Orpheus got screwed in a town. Fresh Prince? No? I should probably, this is a story. Anyway. That's right. When you're with a crazy person, you never know what you're going to get. So strap in, buddy. So I went out to Hollywood. I had this opportunity to meet some of the biggest talent agents for it. You know, someone recognized that I was talented, so let's see if we can't get old Orpheus into the industry finally. So I go out there and I meet with these guys, and I have a demo reel. You know, I've been in radio, so I've got the one that I take to different radio stations, and it's, you know, me doing some funny voices and a couple commercials and things like that, and people, you know, everyone I've played it for is in the industry, and whatever is like, yeah, you know, you want a job, right? So I take it out there, and this happened at all 3. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm so sorry, dude. No, I'm not. It's you. Anyway, so all 3 of them gave me this same answer. You ready? So they would take my tape, and they'd pop it into their tape player. And these are people that had, like, you know, stacks of these resumes and tapes from people that wanted to be represented. And so my opportunity was, you know, get bumped up in the line a little bit and get some faster consideration. And it was like, you know, the idea was, well, they're going to hear me and they're just going to love me right off the bat and I'll be rich and famous. Okay. So they popped the tape in, and within 5 to 10 seconds, like the demo reel is supposed to be anywhere up to like, you took my knife, you bastard. welcome here. What's going on here? Right in the throat. So they listen to like 5 to 10 seconds of it. And again, a demo reel is supposed to be anywhere from like 45 seconds to a minute. Maybe a little longer if you're someone like Billy West, like the guy that does Fry from Futurama, right? His demo reel, and I've listened to it, it's amazing. It's like all the different... Anyway, his is like 2.5 minutes long or something like that. Or at least it was. So, you know, they'd listen to 5-10 seconds. They'd pop the tape out. And literally, they all did the same thing. They pop the tape out, pop it back into the case, and like flick it across the desk at me. And they're like, what the hell is this? It's like, that's my demo reel. And he's like, yeah, no. Like, and then like, you get the cliche speech. Well, you know, you might be a big fish in the pond where you come from, but here in Hollywood, you're nothing. You're just a tiny fish. You're not even in the lake yet, or whatever the hell the fucking simile is supposed to be. I don't get into deep metaphors, you know. So it's like, you know, you're no good. You need to get yourself a real demo reel and come back here, and then we'll talk. And all three of them told me that, like, go get yourself a real demo reel. Okay. So I had a friend. Actually, as a family member who got me an hour of studio time. Finest studio in Hollywood, right? You go in there and they record commercials and cartoon voices and stuff. It's like the place where a lot of people go to do that stuff. So I'm sitting there in the green room. I got an hour of studio time for free. So the idea was they'd record some of my stuff. I was told, just show up. Just show up, they'll take care of everything. I'm like, sweet, man. I'll be able to finally get on my way. Woohoo, right? You get the brutal kill because I'm getting upset about what I'm talking about. Oh no. So they're in the green room, everyone's there, and they're all doing their warm-ups, right, doing all that crap, getting their voices going. They're making silly, stupid faces to warm up their faces, like and stuff. And I'm sitting there with him, and I'm just like, oh, this is going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. My turn's coming up. And I get into the studio. It's finally my turn. And I get in there, and it's a neat little booth, right, with the foam on the walls. Headphones, microphone, a little tiny TV in front of me for the engineer to talk to me, right? And so I get in there. I put the headphones on. And the little screen flickers to life, and this guy's like, hey, how you doing? They called ahead. I know exactly what we're going to do. It's going to be awesome, so are you ready? And I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, dude, I'm ready as hell. And he's like, all right, just pull out your copy, pull out your script, and we'll start. And I went, my what? You know, and I knew what copy was. I'd done it in radio. You write a commercial. It's called copywriting, like literally. And he's like, yeah, just pull out your copy, and we'll get started. And I'm like, dude, no one told me I needed a script or anything, you know? And he's like, well, how? He immediately got all fucking like pissy on me. He's like, well, how are we supposed to do this if you don't have anything to read? And I'm like, I was told to just show up, literally. So he's just like, all right, fine. I'll bump you down a few appointments. You go find some copy, write something or whatever. He's like, but in an hour, you better be ready to do this because this is paid for already, and we don't have the time to mess with this. You know, that kind of thing, right? We're big time city people, and we don't like you small town. And it's like, screw you, dude. Anyway, so I'm like, okay. Well, normally when you do these sorts of things, you have like a plan that you come up with for like, oops, I missed. Whoop, oh, bye. How did my husband die? Anyway. So it normally takes like weeks to come up with these scripts, right? And like edit them and massage them so they're just right. You know, they make your voice sound nice and sexy or whatever you're trying to do. So I'm out there in the green room, and there's like magazines on the table. I'm like, well, let's see this one. And I start flipping through the magazines. Like, oh, look, Jaguar. I'm like, the Jaguar XK8 is the finest luxury car, right? So I'm like, I'll do that one. And I do Bullwinkle the Moose. So it's like, oh, let's do one with Bullwinkle. Hey, if you've seen a small squirrel go flying through here, that kind of thing. So I did one like that. Of course, you're in Hollywood, so you got to do the big, Hollywood movie trailer announcer voice. So I did one like that. It was like, coming this summer, the biggest epic action movie you've ever seen, that kind of thing. Did a commercial that I did for one of my radio stations. Wrote that down to the best of my knowledge. And I'm like, yeah, this is, This is pretty solid, especially considering the time. Like, I had an hour to come up with, like, you know, a whole bunch of stuff. And so I did that, get called back into the studio. And the guy's like, all right, do you have your copy now? I'm like, yes, I do. I'm all set to go, and I think it's pretty good. He's like, okay, good. You know, they mentioned that you got some talent. Let's get going. So I do the first one, and it was the one for the Jaguar. And I'm like, the Jaguar XK8 is the finest luxury automobile. And he goes, stop. And I'm like, yeah? Because normally when they do this stuff, when they stop you, it's because they have like a script in front of them for like a cartoon or, you know, whatever you're doing. But this guy didn't have a script, so I'm like, what? He's like, no, stop. And I'm like, yeah? He says, you're no good at an English accent, dude. Excuse me? Because I was, you know, my English accent is pretty on point. I've lived there, for God's sake, right? Okay. So I'm like, okay, so my English accent isn't any good. He's like, yeah, dude, I hear people do this stuff all day long, and trust me, you're no good at it. It's like, okay, I've actually fooled people when I was in Great Britain, but whatever, dude. So he's like, he lets me record that. He's like, whatever, if you're just going to do it, we'll record it. Like, okay, so I go on to the next one, and it was like, what was it? Yeah, it was the big movie trailer one. I'm like, yo, coming this summer. And he's like, stop. I'm like, yes. He says, yeah, you can't do that voice. Seriously, dude. Everyone that comes in here with a demo reel tries to do that voice. None of you guys have the talent for it. There's one guy that does it. And I know you heard him over the years. He's dead now. that original guy. He was this little guy who smoked cigars everywhere he went. And of course he did, because he had that voice of, I smoke cigars and drink whiskey all day. But they're like, you know, he's the only one that could do that stuff, so stop trying to copy him. I'm like, can I just record this? He's like, fine. So record that. Do the Bullwinkle one. He's like, well, I mean, that's kind of good, but, you know, you're not going to get any jobs with that. Anyway, we go on for an hour. It's like boot camp. It's horrible. Like, it's a slog the whole way. I get like through 2 lines and the guy's like, stop, you suck. It's like, that's not your job, dickhead. You're supposed to be here recording this stuff, and then afterwards you edit it. That's your job, dude. You're paid. Stop giving me so much, stop busting my balls, right? So I get through the hour. And he's like, all right, fine, we'll get this all taken care of. I'll have a courier bring it over to your hotel. So I'm like, okay. I wait like a week, right? So I'm like, well, maybe they're doing some of the editing that's making it into magic, right? Because, you know, if you go look for the first cut of Star Wars, where it was like this long, boring story about Luke and his friends on Tatooine, it's like, wow, that sucks. But then they re-edited it, and it's the magic you see in Episode 4. Okay. Well, I'm thinking like, oh, maybe they're just going to edit it real good, right? And they're going to bring out some magic, make it sound real good. So the courier shows up a week later. Stop it. I'm telling a story. Courier shows up. I missed. And he's like, here's your package, dude. And I give him like, I don't know, a $20 tip or whatever it was. It's one of those bicycle messengers, right? So I open up the envelope. There's a CD in there. I'm like, yes, okay. And I take it over to my laptop and pop it in and hit play. It's not 60 seconds long. It's not 45 seconds long. It's an hour of raw, uncut audio of him telling me I suck for the entire time and me trying to get out something. And they didn't edit it at all. And I call him and I'm like, what the hell is this? How am I going to get a job with this? He's like, we weren't paid to edit it, man. You were just in the stack, and I told you that I'd get to it. He said, I meant I would get you the CD when I could. And I'm like, you're an ass, dude. He's like, look, I thought you knew that already. So I was like, huh. Well, I'm in Hollywood. I got to edit my own. I had to write my own copy in an hour. I have to edit this now on like a pirated copy of some audio editing software that I'd gotten. And yeah, needless to say, I went back to those 3 talent agents and they're like, yeah, no, this still sucks. I don't know what we can do for you, dude. And it's like, I have talent. Can you see that? Did anyone tell you about that? They're like, yeah, we heard about, you're in plays and musicals and on radio and all that. And I'm like, so? He's like, no, you have to go through the steps. And I'm like, bullshit. Why do I have to go through these steps that are arbitrary, right? No, here's your demo reel. Now I can listen to it. And yes, I agree that you are good, but without the demo reel, I cannot actually come up with the conclusion. Like, excuse me? So, needless to say, did not go into the voiceover industry. I instead stayed in radio, thankfully. It gave me a lot more experiences that were kind of fun and cool. But yeah, that's why I'm not in the voiceover industry, because it frigging scarred me the first time that I did it. Yep. So there it is, another episode of Orpheus Plays, where I talk about the dumb crap that happens in my life. And I hope you're enjoying it so far. Yeah, it's fun. I like doing this. So leave a comment in the comment section where you comment things. Let me know how you're enjoying things. Let me know if you got any suggestions for upcoming episodes. Things that you want me to talk about? Huh? You want to hear me talk about the nature of black holes, man? We'll do that. Why not? Hey. So, yeah. Hope you're enjoying it. I know I am. We'll see you next time. This plays. Bye!